Uh, Recording has started. Welcome everyone. This is an anti-ruggers AMA with Gallant token. We have Stephen Walters here introducing it to us, and we're just getting started. So thanks everyone for joining and tune in. All right.
Thank you,
So
Boria.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just say thank you, Boria. We're glad to be here with efforts from Legacy Capital and Brian, who is here, who introduced us to you guys and got the AMA set up. So thank you, Brian. We're glad to be here. As Boria has mentioned, my name is Stephen Walters. I am the CEO of Gallant Token, and in partnership with my main man here, who is in the voice chat as we speak. His name is JB. Um, we'll allow each of the members to kind of give of the core team to give a little piece of what they'd like to say in regards to what they do for the team and for the project, and a little piece of their background. Starting with myself, and Sammy can get the presentation pulled up, and we'll go through that. Starting with myself, again, my name's Steven. I've been an IT guy for most of my career in life. Started building PCs back when I was like 12, 13, taking processors out and piecing them together. Um, Slowly migrated up into the tech support, starting with level one, answering the call, reboot, push the power button, things like that. And then slowly migrated my ways up into a senior analyst role for a global company called uh, Clariant Corporation. I was very fortunate to work with people across the world in the globe in a global position. And so for that, I was very thankful. Was immersed into the crypto world back a year and a half ago when Dogecoin started making its run. And in this year, around March, April, was when I got into I consider where we live the underground world of crypto. Before it hits the big stock exchanges and stuff, before no one ever even hears about something, it's released in this world that we live in. So it was there that I got immersed into the DeFi space and met JB, and Jake and other members that's in our community, where we came together. And my background is strong in networking. I love the infrastructure with networking and stuff like that, project management, and being a liaison between the front end of the business and the back end of it, between connecting and networking. And so with that, I'll pass the mic over to Samantha, who is our head of design. She can give you an intro as you're looking at the screen share there. She is our head of design. So Sammy. Sammy, you're on mute. Would you like to give an intro on yourself?
Sorry, guys, I didn't realize that. Yeah, well, again, my name is Samantha, but I go by Sammy, and I'm the head of design at Gallant. But of course, I do a lot more than that because we're a small team and we're scrappy. So, you never just do your one job. And my experience is in design, office management, business relations, that kind of stuff. I'm from New York City, but I live in North Carolina now in the US, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Samantha. Again, as she indicated, location. We are US based. Everyone here that you see on this page is from the US. We're going to have some additions added to this page. So you'll see two other faces on our website coming very soon. You have direct access to our social profiles. JB, as you see there, Jason Brooks, he's our CFO, and he's our numbers guy. He's a trip. I love this guy. We actually all linked up together in Colorado for the Board Apes Yacht Club, which is sponsored by one of our partners and friends, Leo. And so we had our first meetup, and it was very nice to be there and actually meet each other as a team face to face. So, JB, would you like to take a second and kind of introduce yourself and what you do here for the team?
Hey guys, I'm JB. Jason Brooks is my real name. Get on here so you can actually see me. I won't lie, we were sort of wrapped up trying to mint some jungle freaks. Well, it got delayed, so worked out perfect. I've I've been in the crypto space for long enough that I used to have another guy buy ETH and that for us back in the day, and Bitcoin, um, till we figured out how to get our own wallets and do it ourselves. Bought plenty of BNB when it was probably like $15-$25. If I would have known, I would have just held BNB instead of playing some of the Bitcoin butt, as we call it. Yeah, we all hooked up, and we had a token before that we were just members of, and we become like community members. And when they all bailed, and that's when we realized we had a real good team, and we made Gallant, you know. But as far as it goes, I am the numbers guy. My background is more or less I was an inspector at nuclear power plants, and I was the leader of them, and they were pretty big projects. So
That's actually really cool.
yeah, nuclear crypto.
That's cool. Are you an engineer?
No, inspector.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know that engineers sometimes are inspectors, depending on what kind of inspection you're doing.
Yep, we trained a lot of the engineers so they could do the inspections themselves. They never had the experience to do it, but they were able to understand more of what we were doing.
Okay.
Thing that I really like about what JB brings to the table is he is a lot like myself when it comes to people. We're big people. I'm an extrovert, and if you are anything familiar with the Myers Briggs, I'm an ESFJ, which means I'm a feeler as well. And so we're real big on our community members. And JB, after having met him face to face, it confirmed everything I knew about having him as a close team member. If I had to have a COO, it would JB's pretty much the CFO and COO when it comes to Gallant. Um, there's not one specific person that's fulfilling that role right now, but he does it, and he does it very well. He's real big on education. One of the biggest things that is existing in this ecosystem that we're all living in is education, man. So many people have no idea about a lot of the things that they get involved with. And earlier today, we had the nice opportunity to educate another one of our community members who's in the chat right now. And so I'm mentioning now what we were talking about in the main chat is, you know, something as simple as market cap to liquidity. You know, when you have a project that has 1% pairing to their market cap, you know, $100 can move that thing like crazy. You know, and so next thing you know, it's like, oh, we're at a 30 mil market cap, but look at your LP. You know, $1,000 sale is going to rip that market cap down like it's nothing. And so that's just one of the small things that we really take pride in. And it was just educating people and letting them know things. You know, if you go back 2 months ago, 3 months ago in this space, if your contract wasn't renounced, people wouldn't invest into you. But then when they got educated that renouncing your contract actually restricts you from being growth in the way that you would really like to be. So within that, you know, people don't really care if you have a renounced contract anymore. There's actually people that won't invest into your contract if it is renounced. I've heard and seen in groups like that. So without further ado, there, Jake Hester is a member of our team as well. He's in the chat here. I'm not sure if he's able to speak. Jake, are you able to speak? If you're not, I can give a little short intro about you. I know he's typically on the clock right now, so he's clocking out usually around 6 p.m. Eastern time. So, um, Jake, are you able to speak? If you're not, I can give a little short intro on you.
He just logged in, and he typed no real quick, but it erased
Okay.
it.
So Jake, he goes by JH Gal in our community. Jake was, man, about Jake. So when we started the project, he was one of those members, and every community has them, where that guy is there and he doesn't leave. You know, if the voice chat's open, he's in it. And not only was he a part of the project and still is, but his dad, his grandpa, and his grandma, they're all invested in the Gallant. And we really like that because, you know, sharing the project with people that's close to you, if you believe in it, you know, and you share it with somebody that's close to you, you know, it only grows that community that we like, which is organic and it's strong. And so Jake was always present, and he kind of earned his stripes. And it was shortly thereafter that, you know, we decided to bring him into the core after, you know, just seeing him always engaged, always providing feedback, just really committed to the team. And so we figured it would be best to bring him on in, and he's done a great job helping with our game mechanics and finalizing some of the details that we'll go over here and as we go. So go ahead, Sammy. We can go ahead and move forward.
You got somebody that says they can't join the audio down there.
Yeah, Boria. I can't see that. I have the presentation in front of me.
So I'll read this and then Stephen, you can elaborate. So what are we about? Our goal is to create a safe investment for our holders by capitalizing on the proliferation of gaming, especially blockchain gaming. By committing to this goal, holders and potential investors can trust that we will not rug them. Gaming is a hot industry, and blockchain gaming is just starting to heat up, so we're in it to win it.
Absolutely. And in elaborating just a piece, guys, you guys all know if you've been in the space for a bit, I'm sure there's a few of you that are here that's been around for months, if not longer, since this crypto world started really kicking off this year. Uh, if you go back, rewind to when the Safe Moon protocol launched, it was all about a wallet. It was all about an exchange, and now it's all about gaming. We had the gaming ideas, in Zone when we launched our project, and so we've been slowly building our foundation. Where some of your tokens, they like to build the hype up about what they want to do instead of who they are and what they're doing, and they get that high market cap based on hype, and they don't have any utility and they don't have a strong foundation, so they go up super quick and then they fall super fast. And you know we decided that we would build our community first and our utility first before we start doing main hype and mainstream marketing. We haven't done a whole lot. We released a Yahoo Finance article that brought us in some good solid investors that we were very proud to have and that are still here. And we've done little bits and pieces with marketing, but we are a gaming utility token, and we have games that are in development right now. We're very proud of it. You'll see some screenshots coming up about what we're doing, but we also have an LLC. This isn't just a contract that was tossed out there. We thought about everything beforehand, and we wanted to make everything as legitimate as possible. And so we do have an LLC that's registered in the state of Delaware for tax purposes. And Gallant Studios is a DBA that we're finalizing for the game development side of Gallant Token LLC. And in regards to the rugging factor there, we made it very apparent, even the scam tokens, the meme tokens, the ones that get launched, they've got the funds to go out and just toss a audit in there. I actually seen the other day that there's ads out there for people to get paid to be a quote unquote signer of the documentation for the audit. So you've got a Jimbo over here in some state or country that signs the paperwork as he's the LLC or the main CEO of the token, and all he did was just get paid some money to sign his name on a document so they could get an audit passed. And it's really sick. But moving forward,
Um, Stephen, you think it's okay for me to show this?
it's okay. If you want to watch this little short promo, this was our little promo video that we did for YouTube. Sammy, you can go ahead and click play. I'm not sure how the stream is going to play for everyone. It might be a little pixelated, depending on
It's
everyone's
just
bandwidth.
it's just a minute and 30 seconds, so please bear with us.
There's no audio.
Did you say there's no audio?
No, we can just share it. Just copy a link and paste it into the chat when people are uh, are done with the AMA. They can review the video. You can also visit our website for the media channel, as well as our YouTube channel has the video and promotions and stuff that we've done here. So
You
what are
got it.
recent developments? Our very first game will be launched next month. That will be our mobile fighting game. We're finalizing the name as we speak. We're very proud of that. There's been some great developments from a gaming company called Kingster636. Awesome dude. He's really taken our characters that you may see here in the. Sammy, did you have the characters? Did we get the characters in the slide? We'll be able to show them.
No, I took those out.
Okay, we'll pop those into your chat so you can see them. But we've got a rigger, an animator that took a set pack of characters that he created. I found this guy, and I bought the characters from him. And to ensure that we wasn't having any copyright issues or any infringements on his licensing, I reached out to him via email, and he responded back, and he was like, "Man, you're actually the first person that bought all 15 characters." And so he's customized the 5 Romans to be Gallant, and so we're really excited about that. It'll be um, there's 5 levels, and you can upgrade your character by collecting the tokens throughout the game. And recently sponsored the Yankees on the radio network Odyssey. We had a cool little ad there, so you can visit our YouTube channel and hear how that ad was advertised. Uh, in regards to saying that there was going to be some other members listed onto our website. So Brian, that's listening in here, I'll let you have a short time here if you want to speak a little bit about Legacy Capital. So we've onboarded a marketing group called Legacy Capital. And Brian, if you want to take just a moment here, feel free.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm Brian. I'm one of the partners of Legacy Capital. We're a small marketing firm that are trying to help new projects and ongoing projects excel. We do only or mainly organic growth because at the end of the day, nobody wants a pump and dump. So we deal with actual real clientele. And when we came across this token, I reached out to them, said, "Hey guys, you guys need any help?" And then we just vibed right off the hop. Talking to these guys, I knew they were legit people, and we don't deal with scammy people. So as time goes on, we start talking and hit it off, and now we're part of the upcoming core team, and that's something we didn't think we'd be into at first. But once, like I said, we got to know the team and what they're about and what they offer, we accepted with open arms. Like we had no other option but to say yes and want to work with this team. With Legacy Capital, we do a lot of things. We shield the project. We'll help you with promoting it via Instagram or YouTube or Telegram. So yeah, we're just here to help out, and hopefully we can grow this.
Thanks, Brian. We're glad to have you here as well. It was sort of like I see Funkadella's in here in the chat. I'm glad to see you listening in, Funk. Well, no, he was invited. He hasn't joined in. They have a lot going on over there today. They have a AMA coming up in just a little bit, so I'm sure they're prepping for that. But it went the same way when we met the Coin Merge team. I vibed with a guy named Pyro, and we started working on his Discord together. And next thing we got a link to join an AMA session, and so we met the Coin Merge team and was greeted with open arms. We did a presentation similar to what we're doing here, talking about who we are and what we're doing, and we had their support. And as you saw earlier, they're we can call them friends, and we're excited about that. They're still invested into our project, and their bag has actually grown as a team. So we're glad to see that they're making profits. We're currently working with a marketing agency called Flexi.io. If you haven't heard of them, we'll be glad to share them with you. We've shared them with a couple groups that's actually used them as well. So they have a PR release that's coming out. It's going to hit Benzinga, and we're really excited about that as well. We're working on an exclusive NFT line, similar to some of the things that you've seen, but it's going to be exclusively different, focused on some knights, some gnarly knights, and we're really pumped about that. Sammy's put some good attributes together. These are hand drawn, similar to the way the Jungle Freaks has really dominated. We're really proud of those guys. That man has put in some hard work and effort into that project. So stay tuned for more details on that. We're going to be launching them very soon, and we'll go to the next slide here.
All right. This is actually a good segue into the questions because my next slide is another video, but we're not going to share that here. We'll just, have the owner of the group share it if he wants to. But yeah, that's the last one that I had.
Okay.
Sorry,
Cool.
guys.
No worries.
Yeah. So you saying about the video? What was the reason you're not
Oh,
sharing it? You can share it.
oh, I can? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, This was our well then let me go back real quick because I want to
It's just audio, Sammy. They can't hear the audio.
Oh, well, you know what? Hold on. Let me try this. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if you can hear the audio now. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yep. Damn commercial.
Okay, sweet. All right, so that is our promo.
Yo, that fired me up.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
Yes, I can't tell you how many times we watched that video, dude. It's pretty
When
dope.
launch? When launch?
Let's roll into the let them hear the advertisement as well for that was on the Yankees broadcast network.
You got it.
The pitch hit on the ground, a third double play ball. Feed second. There's one on the first double play. It's a 5-4-3 double play to get the Yankees out of the third inning. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 left. Now, at the end of 3 innings of play, 3-0 Boston on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
It seems everyone is talking about crypto. The brand you need to know about is Gallant Token. Gallant is a crypto company with a gaming utility. Check them out now at gallanttoken.com. Gallant uniquely creates medieval-inspired games and NFTs that integrate blockchain technology across different platforms. Visit gallanttoken.com now to learn more about this warrior-themed blockchain gaming utility token. If you're at all interested in crypto, go to gallanttoken.com.
All right, and that's it.
The pitch hit on the ground, a third double play.
Thank you, Sammy, for sharing your screen throughout the process. So now we'll pass it back over to you, Boria. The ball's in your court. We're here for you. Ask some questions. Whatever you want to know, we're here. We're pretty transparent, guys.
All right, awesome. Yes, I've been looking at your website, and I noticed you guys are working on is this 4 games
Yes.
currently? So the first
That is
game,
correct.
that one is that's the one that's being released in the next
Yes,
26 days or so.
Yes, sir. We're shooting for the if it should be released by the second week of October. We're shooting for a beta coming out for users in our community and ourselves to play in, test out, make sure the mechanics are there, and I'm actually going to put a promo video together. So if anybody here joins our community or looks into our project, you will see a promo video that shows the evolution over the last 3 weeks, that it's went from its first state to its second state. And right now what they've done is integrate the ability to pick your character when you launch, as well as integrated the coins to be accrued and picked up throughout the game so that you can select different characters and purchase them in the game. In conjunction with that, there's an NFT fighting game that we've been working on. We have some images from that as well. We're currently in researching. We have a meeting tomorrow with a vendor that has stepped in to assist us with taking and picking up where the previous developers, they had to back out due to some health reasons, and Duke got hospitalized pretty heavily. And so we agreed that it would be a universal mutual benefit for us to just bring in another development team. But that is an NFT fighting game where there's 4 characters. You have the ability to pick a character, mint your NFT, and then upgrade it, gain experience, sell it in the marketplace. Unfortunately, our marketplace CEO is not here right now. He's helping facilitate some of the issues going on with Jungle Freaks in their minting right now. And so we're going to have an exclusive NFT marketplace. The brand is Paradox NFT. I suggest you guys look at their project. Totally awesome crew. The lead dev, Leo, he's been around in the industry for a while now. He's got a strong support system. We've actually hardcore tested the marketplace in terms of its functionalities. You're going to see a slew of different types of NFTs. It's not just going to be something basic. Not saying OpenSeas is basic, but they're very limited with what they can do without upgrading their infrastructure to allow some of the other pieces of NFTs, because we know NFTs just don't resolve around an MP4 or an image. And so we're very glad to be a part of the Paradox platform. We'll have a white labeled website that's directly to ours on our domain. It'll be marketplace, NFT marketplace, gallanttoken.com. Their back end team is really phenomenal. The head guy on the back end actually worked for Google and won some awards from working at Google for quite some time. Is Tank Shake. Dude is amazing, especially if anybody in here is looking for some work to have done when it comes to website, WordPress, SEO. The dude is a monster, like literally. You search Gallant Token, we're #1 on Google. But in conjunction with that, I have some other images that I'm putting together. We hired a guy, pretty cool kid, found him on Unity forums. Super humble guy too. His name's Mark. Last week the other night actually, when we was doing some marbles games on Twitch, I gave some of the community members that was in there a sneak peek into the world that he's creating. That will be blockchain based. It's called King's Calling, and essentially the knight starts on the outskirts of the castle in the lands, and his mission is to get to the castle to answer the king's calling and receive his orders. And so throughout the process, there will be Gallant tokens throughout to be picked up, little options, little missions to do, campaigns, and enemies to fight, of course. But getting to the castle is not going to be easy. But right now, the world map is being created. And then in conjunction with that is the MMORPG, which is our big bread and butter game that we're shooting for. And it's not going to be something that's done overnight, guys. You look at any big game, it takes a little bit for it to be done if it's going to be done right. We don't like having the redos. So it's a matter of planning it, doing it right, onboarding the animators, the designers, the illustrators. And there's been some members of our community that's really jumped in and helped. I see Jacob's in here. Jacob's done a really great job with helping the team with ideas, working in partnership with Sammy and Jake when it comes to the mechanics of things. So that concludes the question about the 4 games for you.
Okay. And so the first game is basically, the way I take it, it's more like a proof of concept. It's for fun. It's not play to earn. But the next 3 will be.
That is correct.
Right.
Yes. The first one is to get our name out there, to show people that we are who we say we are. We deliver on our promises. To give the community something to play with and battle with as well while we're in the development. We're trying to stage it in a way where while one comes out, one's in the next position to be able to roll out, so that nobody gets bored, and that we're constantly, stepping stones up, onwards and upwards. And so Gallant Studios will be. We actually just got approved for our DUNS. If anybody has ever done anything regarding development accounts, Apple is a little bit more stringent upon who they allow to have a developer's account. And so I applied 48 hours ago. 24 hours ago, they approved. You have to get what's called a DUNS number. So I got my DUNS number. And the next step now, once we finish this AMA, because it has been an exact 24 hours since yesterday, I will go through and get the next step created for the developer's account with Apple. We have our one for Android, so that whenever the beta comes out, we have our developer meeting on Saturday. Every Saturday, we meet with our developer for a catch up and recap and development progress. And so he had mentioned that he's pretty ready to. He's at that final stage of being ready to release the SDK for us to deploy through Android Studio, and so we can start beta testing that. But yeah, it's more or less to put something out there on the market for people to play, including in-app purchases and things like that. So definitely gets our brand of Gallant Token out there, because Gallant Token is not just a Binance Smart Chain contract. It's a community of people around the world as well as a brand. Our merchandise is pretty cool, as you guys saw earlier. You know, Gallant Token is here. This is us, Team Gallant. Got my pillow back
Wow.
there. That thing is really comfy.
Awesome. So, next question is, how is the token? How are you planning to tie the token in with the games? Is it going to be like you using the tokens as a microtransactions to buy things in the game? Like, like a lot of mobile games, they're free to play, but then you need to pay, $100 to get like 10,000 gems or whatever. So I was actually thinking, if someone's going to create a game, why not just use a microtransaction system, but do it with the crypto token? Or another thing is, the other option would be as a reward, right? So you play the game, you do X amount of things in there, and then you earn the tokens. So are they going to be, yeah, basically, how are the tokens going to be tied into the games?
That's a good question, and boy, I'm glad you asked that. So one of you said it yourself. There's going to be a contract tied to the game that's launched, and so integrated into that will be a contract so that when certain things are achieved, you can gain them, and as your wallet is connected to play the game. And so once it's connected and you achieve those certain aspects of the game, they will be automatically added to your account.
Oh, I see. Is there a way to use the tokens in the game?
And at the current moment, it's not finalized, but for example, would be like the NFT fighting game. You will use your Gallant tokens to purchase the NFTs. You'll use your Gallant tokens. You can then of course put them on the marketplace and sell them, and receive BNB or Gallant back. In the King's Calling game, we're looking to have like loot boxes in various places. So like it's kind of like Easter eggs, and you find them. You might grab some NFTs, you might grab some Gallant tokens, so on and so forth from there.
Oh, okay. So the NFT that you're currently going to be doing is going to be tied to the fighting game. And you said there's 4 fighters, but I'm assuming there's going to be way more than 4 NFTs. So
Right.
is there going to be like 4 basic fighters, but they're all going to look a little bit differently based on what NFT it is?
That's
Yes.
correct. I have an image here. I can share with you guys. Give me one moment. And this is the basic concept. They've been redesigned since this image, and I'm working on compiling a nice little visual that has all 4 of them together. One second, let me find Jake.
Also, if I may add to that, because we have more than one game, more than one, P2E game, play to earn, um, they all won't have the same features or the same, like player economy. We could do different things. I think a lot of times, um, when we see projects or whatever, they usually just have one game, and it's easy to answer that question. But for us, it's not as easy because we have different types of games. As Stephen was saying, in our 3D adventure game, um, King's Calling, you'll be, fighting enemies, going through the forest, going through the city, making your way back to the castle. And so it's more exploratory. So there will be little, loot boxes and fun little Easter eggs and things like that to find. Whereas in a game like the NFT fighting game, it's a different format. So you're not going to find loot boxes necessarily in the NFT fighting game. So that structure is a little bit different. But to answer your question, is that yes, there will be different ways to use the token, and it won't be the same necessarily in every single game.
Okay. Yeah, the main reason for that question is because I would want to know like how are the games and for example the token price, like what's your plan? Because you know a lot of people or a lot of projects what they would do to like let's say drive the price up of the token is you have to mint the NFTs with the token. So that creates buying pressure for the token. And if the tokens are used or burned in some way, let's say to pay for something, like for example, Binamon to buy the the booster packs, you got to burn some Binamon, so the supply is getting reduced, and that overall, that's the whole theory behind that. Eventually, it'll get the price to go up, so the investors are buying them early, hoping that a lot of people will burn and buy the boosters later on and create buying pressure. So my question basically as an investor, like what are the avenues or plans that you guys have? Because everyone wants to like same as a shareholder meeting, right? People want to know like when is the price going when's the shares going to go up? Like what's going to drive that? What's going to be the driving force for the demand? Because when you trade, when you buy tokens, there's a supply and demand, and you always want the demand to be higher than supply. That's how the price goes up. And there are many things you could do with like a gaming, for example, like I mentioned, buying NFTs, or even in the MMO, maybe people could, how does like World of Warcraft, they had online, they had an auction system where people could, buy and sell their equipment for in-game gold. So if you have a play to earn MMORPG, you could do the same like an auction house where they would use the tokens. And then so if somebody wants to get like a really good item, it could cost like thousands of dollars in tokens, and that would actually get some volume generating with that.
Absolutely, and those are good aspects for you. That's some of what you said is already on our plan on our planning sheet, and in conjunction with that, there is a burn mechanism that we have that we're going to be integrating for the NFT side for the very first NFT fighting game here. It will have some burn mechanisms integrated into it that will in a sense. So a player has an option to do of course, on the minting process, those tokens will get burned. And whenever there is a transaction there, it's a burn. But when there's an actual death, what we've considered a death match, outside of a normal fighting round where, John fights Joe, he gets a level 1 versus a level 1, level 1 upgrades, get some EXP. You have the option to go to a death match in a separate fight, and you basically put your NFT on the line. And if you lose that match, then you lose your NFT, and it's automatically burnt. So the rarity value will go up as well as the token value. And
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's like a high stakes, like
Yeah, racing for pinks.
sweaty palms, yeah, racing for, yeah, exactly.
Yes, absolutely. And there was something else that I wasn't sure if you guys were able to see my screen just a moment ago to show that image. Were you guys able to see that?
I wasn't able to.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again one more time and give you guys a visual. And I'll also share my screen and show you guys an image of the arena that's being created for the zone. Some members that are in the community that was not in the Twitch stream, you're gonna get a sneak peek right now that I haven't shared with you all. So here we go. Minimize that. So this is the original 5 characters. Okay. You've got a gladiator, you've got an axeman, you've got a general, and you've got your archer, and you have your spearman. Okay, and so what Marcos has done is taken that very first knight that you saw here with the red headdress on. He put the Gallant token logo helmet on him and fully customized him. And then this guy here with the dots in the front of his mask, he has customized him as well. Put the wolf on the helmet there at the top is pretty cool. And so for the NFT fighting game, these are the 4 basic characters. without any upper XP level. The information regarding those mechanics we can get into a document to release to everyone. But these will be your 4 bases, and the difference between them is, this one will have 2 weapons in his hand. He has the ability to upgrade to 2 weapons. Your dueling daggers, he'll always have 2 weapons. There's this guy here, the Cavalry Knight. I have an updated logo here from what he just completed. I shared that in the group. That's our newest logo. He was able to fit him with our updated logo, which is really cool. We were very proud of that. That logo, by the way, was hand drawn. That's on our website. It's got that futuristic look to it. And so without further ado, I'm going to jump into Discord here. And I'll show you guys a sneak peek of what Mark has done for us in creating this world of where the King's Calling is going to reside. So this is a internal view of what the environment is looking like. Right now he's building the city. And so there's the port from the outside, and then the outside of the castle is where the night will start. And I'll show you some earlier pictures from where he was before. He changed the brick walls, but there's a windmill. It's a pretty nice little map that he's putting together. Some more architecture that he's put together.
So this is all going to be on mobile, right? All these games.
They will be mobile playable. The very first game is being launched through iOS and Android, and these other games that we're working on that are going to be blockchain integrated, there will be WebGL and of course Windows downloadable.
Okay.
All right.
So how many people do you guys have? Like, how big of a team working on the game development side?
Right now, there's us here in the core team, and then the other members that aren't in the core team that's helping facilitate with the game writing, and the gentleman that we've onboarded with Legacy Capital. He has a team of 100 developers that range from everywhere from the animators and riggers to the designers and illustrators, and then you have your C++ and your Unity developers. So right now it's us. I would say it's about 10. And once we have our meeting tomorrow with Kunal, our team will drastically expand.
Okay. And you guys or some of the team members that have prior pretty big experience in game development. Like, is there any like notable games that you got that they worked on that would be familiar to anyone here?
No, I can't say that there is. No.
Okay. I think that's good. I like that the games and with the NFT concept. Oh yeah. One thing that I got confused yesterday, I was looking through the Telegram, and then there's mention about the relaunch, and I thought it was actually upcoming, but I guess I scrolled back way too far, and that post was like months ago, so that confused me.
Yeah, I'll be glad to speak on that too, because that's something that we are actually very proud of. When it comes to some of these contracts and the way the space is designed, there's a lot of people love money. Let's just be real. All right. You don't go to work if you have a 9 to 5 just because you like the people you work with. You do it because there's a profit coming into your pocket. And so the space is designed in a way where people like the 2x and 3x to 4x, 5x overnight. The quicker the return on the investment, the more hype there is. And so when SafeMoon first launched, no one really understood or knew that SafeMoon had flaws in their contract. I mean, that's why they're doing a V2 now. And believe it or not, if you were in the SafeMoon community whenever the flaws was brought out, you actually got shut down. If you even asked questions about it, you were kicked out for FUD, or your messages was just flooded with "all shut up, you don't know what you're talking about." Whereas no, it's an actual truth. You know, there's BNB and SafeMoon tokens trapped in that contract that can never get retrieved. They're just going to sit there forever. And so that swap and liquefy function that we had in our original contract was not swapping and liquefying at the right percentage that it was supposed to because of that. And secondly, it was trapping those tokens into the contract and they were never retrievable. And so once we noticed that our MC to LP it wasn't calculating correctly. So after right at a little over the 30-day mark, we had a team meeting and was like, hey, we really need to make some changes here and make a decision ASAP. And so we did. We paused the contract. We told all the holders that if they would just bear with us, we wanted to set a 30-day time frame to have a custom contract created, and in conjunction with that, we would airdrop everybody the same value of what they had. And on the icing on the cake there was it gave us the ability to get an audit set up, because we didn't want to launch a contract again that wasn't audited and verified. And so we made sure all those check marks was made. And so to establish a strong long-term growth plan, we had that custom contract we had the audit made, and we made sure that we had enough supply that we would be able to airdrop everyone that held the token, but then have also room for growth and expansion by integrating, tokens into the games for the future. It's better to have more than you need than not have enough for what you need. And so when people sometimes look, they'll say, well, you guys have 100 trillion. That's right, we do. We also have a burn function into our contract. So what's coming up here very soon, we haven't made an announcement about it, so you guys are the first ones to hear it. We've hinted to it in the community. Sammy actually put a hashtag shield for the burnout. We have a campaign that we're about to kick off, and if the prerequisites are met on that campaign, we're going to do a celebratory first time burn here at Gallant, and we're really pumped about that. We're not about the Moon Boys that love hearing, and I see Moon Man just actually popped up to the top. I love it. We're not all about the launch and then burn 40%, 50% of the supply. That's done for hype. That's done for giving people a quick return on their investment. If you were a holder and you held for a while, now your investment's worth double because you just burnt 50% of the supply. We get it. We understand what burns are for, and we will. As we mentioned, the game mechanics will have burns in it, but we're going to do a celebratory burn if we get the prerequisites met for this campaign that we're about to kick off.
Those burns didn't really work. Like if you burn half of the supply, and they usually get burnt before launch, it doesn't even mean anything because that just like reduces our total supply by half, but the percentages that everyone gets doubled.
That's
so it just
correct,
makes it look like the devs are getting actually less than they're getting. That's really all
My
there is to
man.
it.
I'm glad somebody gets it.
Right. I love it that we've never understood it. I'm going to make a contract that has, a quadrillion tokens in it, but I'm going to burn 50% of them, or I'm going to burn 80%. Well, why didn't you just start the contract with either 500 trillion or 200 trillion to start?
Yeah, I mean, if I was gonna do that, why 50%? I'll burn 99.9%.
Well, and then
Yeah.
it boils down to the whole fact of why wouldn't you just start a contract with that amount of tokens anyways?
Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to burn 99% of tokens, and then I also have 1% dev wallet.
Right.
So my dev wallet ends up being 100%.
Yeah, it's people don't understand that, and it's hard for people to understand that is like, okay, so I'm going to make a contract, and I say this over and over again. It's a percentage. Whether you want to buy 1 billion tokens or you want to buy 1/1000th of a token, you can have the same value in whatever it is. It's a percentage of a percent. You can make a contract with 1 token. It's been done. You just get a percentage of it.
Exactly.
And some people just they can't grasp that concept. They're like, well, you got too many tokens. Well, what's the difference if I had only 100 million of them? Well, the price would
Yep.
be higher. Well, yes, it would be. But some
Yeah.
people, this is the same reason why some people will not buy into Bitcoin, is because they're buying a percentage of one token. Whereas when they're buying these tokens, they feel good about themselves because they got, 500 billion of them.
Exactly. But 500 billion of zero is still zero.
You get it, man. I mean, I love hearing you say that.
Right?
Yeah, because honestly, that's a big pet peeve of mine. Like those contracts where they have like 500 quadrillion tokens or like even higher, and I can't even tell if I'm making money or not. I have to count the zeros. Like, did I buy at a lower price than this? Like, how many zeros have they lost? Did they lose any? You know what I mean? It's hard to track if your price is like 0.00000, like 20 zeros in front of it. Like, how can you tell if you're actually?
Know what you're saying? Yeah, and like you mentioned, what a lot of people never knew that is, okay, the contract. These people would make a contract and they'd put in, like you said, they'll put 1% into their wallet, right? Like dev teams taking 1%, and we're taking 1% for marketing, we're taking 2% for future use or whatever. Then they burn 50% of the tokens. No, they really gave themselves 2%, 2%, and then like a 6%.
Yep, because the only burn that works is the one that happens after launch. The one where you remove tokens from the trading, from liquidity, by either a buyback mechanism or just straight up devs burning after launch, after liquidity is already. That's the only way that's going to affect the price. Like I said earlier, it's all about supply and demand. So when you're actually removing supply after it's launched and after it's trading, that's like the only effective way. And that's kind of what I was talking about, the whole mechanism with the gaming. Like if you had some kind of burn mechanism, that would actually help, the supply get reduced and increase the price of the tokens.
Absolutely.
All right, let me see some other questions. Actually, does anyone else have any questions right now? A lot of people are listening.
I have a question, but it's just more so of like, so I can't actually read the video. I know you guys are recording. Will that recording be posted to your YouTube so I can see the screen shares that were made?
Of course, Jacob. You know it. We like to. I'm sure Borja is going to send me the audio recording after he's done, and we'll go through and add our little logo and stuff to it, watermark and brand it, and we'll have it listed on our YouTube channel for sure.
I appreciate it. You're showing all these sneak peeks. I'm like, oh, please let it be something audio. And you're like, I'll just share my screen real quick. I'm like, no, I can't see it.
Oh, no worries, no worries, my man. And like I said, I'm gonna put an evolution video from the mobile fighting game together, as well as Mark is putting together a walkthrough of the map for King's Calling. He's putting a walkthrough video together to kind of give people a bird's eye view, as well as like a character walking through the map.
Yeah, the same
Okay,
videos that
awesome.
Dylan's sharing, they're on the YouTube channel as well. You can find them there. Sneak peek
What was that,
there.
Robert?
Yeah, you can go to your YouTube channel. You also have the sneak peek there if they want to catch that again.
Sure thing. Yeah, check us out at YouTube. Our website, gallanttoken.com, has direct links to all of our socials. And as well as on the website itself under media, there's some tags there from different people that's talked about the token, some of our AMAs and some of our medias that we've put together. And if you guys want to read the article about the relaunch, feel free to check it out. It's listed on the website on the Yahoo Finance. Would love for you guys to read that and kind of read a little bit more. Also, if you want to see about tokenomics distribution, visit our white paper. There's a lot of information and detail into there as to what we're doing and what our visions are. Really want to thank you guys as well for having us, Borja.
Oh, thank you for reaching out. Like it's a really good concept. I like that. Like it a lot. I did have a question. Like it's more like a history question because you guys relaunched right with and that went well because most relaunch tokens fail, and a lot of projects that, like you mentioned, they basically all they really care about is just taking their money up front and don't really care about it at the end. And like even without rugging, they kind of just give up, and the devs made their money, and then they spend a couple weeks and then make a new token. But you guys have been around for a while, so you guys have a proven record that you're
Thanks,
working.
man.
Yeah, you guys launched on August 2nd, so it's already been a couple months, and that was the relaunch. So the original one
Yeah.
was even earlier.
Yeah, May 21st was the day of inception for Gallant Token, May 21st. So the statistics actually show that the average lifespan of a cryptocurrency is 30 days or less. And so being way past the 30 days mark is something that we're very proud of. And we're just constantly wanting to educate people that legitimate projects, now granted, look at Meta Hero. A member of the community told me about Meta Hero, and I looked at it, and Meta Hero is a little bit earlier than us from August. They launched in July, but they are at $1 billion market cap. But the support that they have behind them is what's driven them there. It's not just the ideas of their project; it's the support that they've gotten. They've gotten that financial backing. It's almost like they went into Shark Tank. They've gotten Mark Cuban. They've gotten Mr. Wonderful. They've got that financial support, and so that's where we're doing. We're doing our due diligence. The core team is at it every single day. This is our day job. We don't have a 9 to 5. We might take a couple cryptos and try to earn some little monies off of them here and there, but this is it for us. We're all in, balls to the wall. Go big or go home. And we have team allocated tokens. Yes, we do, but we're not taking salary right now. We want to pay ourselves by seeing the project grow, seeing the community grow. And when we get to a place in a market cap where we can say, hey guys, we're gonna pay ourselves a little bit here. We're not all about that, man. It's all about creating a brand and business, because we want to see this thing turn into something beautiful that's going to be around for some time, where we have licenses in place where we can sell to other projects or other game companies and partner together and establish some collaborations down the road that's really going to drive the token as well. And that's what we're looking at. I'm working on right now, trying to reach out to some other projects that are in sort of a similar space to say, hey, do you guys like to collaborate and maybe put some integrations together to where our contract can interact with yours, our players can play with yours in metaverse kind of world, things like that. But as what you said, Oboria, being around for the time frame that we have really shows that we're here for the long run.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you guys are still, reaching out, getting AMAs going. You're not giving up. You're actually working on the product. Unlike most other tokens where they promise you the world and like a week later they're gone and Telegram's deleted.
Yeah, they promise you the world and give you a snow globe.
Exactly.
That's actually funny.
It
It's
is, man. It's they overpromise and underdeliver day after day, dude. Like I'll throw this token out there. Every ape, I jumped in on this every ape token the other day. It was one of those rebase tokens. First time ever invested into a rebase, and I'm looking at it now, and it's like it's sad. You get these people in there, but one of the things that people don't understand and don't know, Boria, is there's people in our community that I've educated. This is the mafia. It's the Wild Wild West, bro. There is multiple ringleaders, just like you. You're a ringleader here, Boria. This is your community. People join when you say join, and they listen to what you say, and they trust you. And the same works for the negative side of the space. Is you have these ringleaders that has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of BNBs in their wallets, and they recruit their people. They're dedicated to them because they know that they're going to get something out of it. They go into these projects, they raid them, with 1,000, 2,000 members, and they might be dumping $10, $15 in there. But when you've got a 1 or 2% liquidity to your market cap, those $10s and $20 buys are pumping that thing. And the next thing you know, everybody in the chat's active. So they go and they drop 15 grand to get in CMC and CoinGecko within 2 hours of launch. Then boom, they're at an all-time high that nobody's ever seen. Everybody's hyped up. Come back next week and it's at a floor. Everybody's cashed out, and everybody's like, well, where's everybody went? Well, they're on to go do the next thing tomorrow.
Yep, I know exactly the projects you're talking about and the teams behind them. Yeah, because we investigated some. We were even involved in basically like shill teams and all that before they started rugging. So yeah, we like a lot of our members have history of, for example, like Shane Cigar. You probably heard of him, like how he scammed recently, and then yeah. So So yeah, that's exactly what usually happens, and the hard projects are hard to come by. I mean, the good projects are hard to come by.
It is, and nobody's really used to seeing a project. I've looked back before I started this AMA with you guys. I was actually reflecting because Super Eye, who's in our community, dropped a screenshot of a project that he was talking about, and I went back and I looked at some of the projects that started back when March came, and my wallet probably has 25, 30 tokens during that time frame in it, and I was just looking at them, and it's just a straight line that's flat below pre-sale price, and I'm just like, it's the sixth space, and so people are so accustomed to getting into a token, seeing some profits, and then getting out, and then looking back, and they're like, well, I'm glad I got out here. And so we're we're that project that's still slow and steady, but we're not gone. Every time we kind of do something a little different, we get a pump, but we establish a new floor, and it's that staircase that we'll consistently work on. You come back in 30 days, promise you we won't be where we were before. That's a fact.
Yeah, awesome. It's awesome. So I think my last question is it's somewhat to do with what we already talked about. Like as an investor, where do you see this going, and what will be like the driving force to get there? Like as the token itself, because I know the gaming, the NFT, they're connected, and that's like the use case for the token, right?
Mhm.
But what are your plans? Because I know you guys are doing the marketing right now. It's been 2 months. You guys are getting it, still keeping it going, releasing the token. So releasing the game. So do you think that once the game's released or the next game, like the hype is gonna drive the price up, or what are the plans? Because for example, we have investors here, right? We want to see gains like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
basically, yeah. Go ahead.
I'll answer that in a two-part. And it sounds like Sammy had something she wants to say. So I'll let you go, Sammy, and then I'll come in behind you.
Okay, sure. Well, first, thank you for that question. You actually just read my mind because I was just thinking that. Um, well, one of the differences between us and other projects is that other projects, they kind of give it all to you up front, because they want to have that maximum pump, maximum hype, but then it falls because they've given you all they've got. And the great thing about being a legitimate project is that we have so many goals, so many milestones to reach that it's basically going to be like a step by step process of growth and gains, because there's always going to be something else to launch. And you guys might not be aware of this, but we only had one game in mind in the beginning, and that was the main game. And we knew that was going to take a while. And so we said, well, what are we going to do in the meantime? It's going to take us several months, maybe a few years to build this a really good MMORPG. So we said, well, we've got to give people something now. And look what we did. We're developing 3 freaking games, So, and that's not even the main project. So to answer your question is, there are lots of things that we can produce to add more value to the token. So we've got these 3 games. We already talked about that, but also gaming equipment. We're looking to see about how Gallant token holders can purchase our gaming equipment that we decide to make in the future, with the token. So there's gaming equipment, there's a main game. We could continue to do more little games, as we grow and get better at that. So the long and short of it is, there's always more that we can do. So, and that's something like for me personally that I'm always looking to do, being part of this project. How can we keep growing? What more can we give? And this is just my personal take. And I probably shouldn't be saying this because I'm really ambitious, but like I see Gallant here 10 years down the line. Like I'm already thinking of other ways to grow this brand and the product and stuff like that. And so that's my take. Stephen, you take it away.
Yeah, she sort of mentioned some of the things there. As the question was directly asked, is as an investor, how do you see the token growing outside of the gaming itself? And that comes as well as word of mouth. I remember being in my cubicle at my last job, going back 2 years from now, when somebody mentioned the word Doge in my team, and I was like, "Well, what the hell is Doge?" And so I looked it up, and of course, it was there in Robinhood, and that word of mouth. And so this person that's listening in the community right now, Sebastian, this guy has been a great asset to us in spreading word of mouth. And so keeping that word of mouth together for community engagement. We're looking at tournaments. JH isn't in here. Yeah, he is. Jake's still here. He's listening in. We were approved for an Epic Creator ID, which means if you know anything about Epic Games, Epic Creator ID allows you to create custom tournaments and host Fortnite tournaments and various platform games in the Epic community. And so, we're going to grow our gaming side because that's our main utility. And the finances for gaming is, well into the 100 billion mark right now. It's expected to succeed $230 billion in the gaming industry as a whole. And so by establishing a gamer's presence, continuously being engaged in the community and providing giveaways and tournaments and incentives for people to do things is another way that we'll continue to market ourselves and grow the community and the game environment for you. That was just one of the other aspects of how do we expect to grow and continue growth for our holders.
Oh, I see. So when we buy the Gallant token, it's more like an investment into the company itself.
Exactly.
Instead of like the traditional route where you have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars with legal fees and take a company public with stocks, it's almost like the token itself is like a share of the company. And you guys are planning to do some kind of basically the company grows and token price grows because it's going to be like earnings and revenue and all that tied in with the games. And if everything blows up, then the price of the token is going to blow up and everyone is going to be happy, right?
Exactly. And so you're sitting out of the security side of things with the SEC. As long as you're continuously looked at as a utility token, you don't cross that threshold as a security. The holders are rewarded by reflections in Gallant, and the tokens are directly related to the game, which is their utility. Make sense?
Yeah. Are there reflections right now? Oh, I
Yes.
see 3%. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. And as another incentive, because our contract isn't renounced and it is custom, we have the ability to change things as the market is moving. And so at any given time, we can say, okay, for the next 24 hours, we're going to turn burn on. That's going to be a 1% of transactions. We're going to give reflections up to 5%, and we're going to lower marketing to 5% or LP to 5% and things like that. And so that's one of the things we really pride ourselves in as well.
Okay, awesome. It's awesome. And another thing like that I'm curious about, which is kind of related to the first question, because I see two big pumps on the chart. And can you tell me what those were? Was that like a new announcement about the game, or like because there were some huge pumps from 23 to 72, and then another one from 37 to 72 again. It's like a double top.
Absolutely. So the original pump there from that big green JB calls them big green dildos. That very first one that came after the pre-sale pre-sale open, and everybody that was wanting a paper handout and the airdrop people got out. That very first one came from our Yahoo Finance article. And we were very glad to see some investors come in. There was some paper-handed people that were waiting for another pump to get out, and so we established that little floor down there. And then that second big rise that come up was people sharing the project. We got some new investors that came in and holders, and so that's kind of where we are right now. And we're getting ready for driving on that next big move on marketing with what we have in store.
All right, cool, awesome. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear because we're like, we've seen those pumps before, so we want to get in before early enough before it takes off without us.
Well, thanks, man. Absolutely. I myself has been that guy where I've seen it and I didn't get in. I've been told about it and didn't get in. But yeah, absolutely. We've got a nice little marketing campaign set up as we mentioned before, and so we're looking to establish a consistency with hype. We don't want to let the hype die down in regards to what we have going. We want to. There's more people that don't know about us than people that do, and so that's where we're trying to get out right now is spreading it more out to the masses that don't know about us, and starting with you guys here.
Exactly. You guys have honestly, I like the chart, like from a marketing or technical analysis standpoint. In a 67,000 liquidity, 447,000 market cap. The ratio was great. Like that'd be hard.
There's
And
actually more liquidity than that. There's 91. There's 92,000 liquidity right now.
Oh yeah. That's right. There's another one. There's two pair. Yeah.
So real quick for the people that didn't catch this, we currently have a slight utility in place right now. As you look at the chart there on PooCoin, you'll see PadSwap. PadSwap is an up and coming exchange. To be quite frank with you, they have their token called Toad, and Toad has reached $150 a token. And currently, right before this big push that they did, the token was trading at around $5 and $6. Last week, it has went back up to $19. And so the Toad network is very solid. Consider them a pancake swap, but minus the scam coins. Guys, you know that pancake swap, because the ability to put scam coins on this exchange, these people that make these contracts day by day, minute by minute, and take liquidity from people, all they do is they turn around and transfer that liquidity back into Pancake, and it keeps those farms producing. If Pancake stopped scam coins, Pancake would drop. Like Cake would be pretty much eliminated because they would have they wouldn't have near as the volume that they do. So what PadSwap has done is they've created a nice little vault over there. The team here, we donated quite a bit, and when I say donate, I mean donate. We threw quite a few thousand into that vault, and the Gallant token team cannot pull that money out, and so we kickstarted our farm with that. And I'll let JB take the reins here as the CFO and talk just a little bit about the farm that we have over there in PadSwap. You alive, JD?
I'm sorry. My Wi-Fi just cut out. I had to switch over to my cell phone. What were you asking there, Stephen?
And if you would just take a moment and tell Borja and his community here about the farm at PadSwap, how it works and what does it mean?
At PadSwap, they come up with this ingenious idea called perpetual liquidity pools. If you go to our chat, whatever, type /farm, you can see it. And they have YouTube videos on it, how it works. It's very, very unique. What it does is, like Steven said, we donated the tokens to it, the LP tokens. Like he said, when we donate, it's like locking them in somewhere, like into a dead wallet, right? So they're gone forever. So that liquidity can never be removed, can never be anything done with it. But what it does is the value of that daily, it drips 1% of that out. It costs you 10% to get in and 10% to get out. That's their fees over there. We couldn't set that. So it costs 10% to get in, and I think it's 7.5% of that goes back to the pool to be dripped back out, and 2.5% of it gets locked away in the vault forever again. So I mean, it's funny how it works out. It's very, very interesting. Like when we started this off, I can't remember it was like 4% daily interest, because a lot of people didn't know about LP farming. The more people that get in it, yes, the lower the percentage will be, because there's more people pulling money out of it. But that's sort of the way it's meant to be, is they want it to get so low. This was their concept, where they're going to make it's at 150% APY right now. If it gets lower than that somebody doesn't find that attractive anymore, they go to get out, they put 10% of their bag back into it. So it raises the APY back up. I watched a guy get out of there that held, I'll just say, right at like $4,500, right? And he pulled out of it, and it went back up to like 1.2%, and he went right back in it. It went back down to like 0.95. I don't understand it, but he must have thought like, oh, as soon as I pulled out, you guys jacked the interest rate up. It's all ran by the holders.
All right, awesome. Yeah, we'll actually look into that because we have our own token coming out in a couple of weeks, like from our anti-ruggers community.
Congrats, man. Let us.
Awesome.
We'll have to stay updated on that. We'll grab us a bag.
Oh yeah, we had like a private sale, like a tiny one, like 10 BNB, like a month ago or even longer.
Oh,
And Trinos was the dev, and he dropped the ball. Like I've been asking him like every couple days, what's the update? And he said he's working on it, and he never told me that he was basically backlogged for like a month.
oh.
So we were waiting him for like forever, and then we
know how that
we
goes.
just decided to. I fired him, and then we got another dev.
We know exactly how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are preachers to the choir here.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so we have a couple more minutes. Like the last couple AMAs, the way I decided the winner was I just put everyone's names in like the spin the wheel. But I think for this one, we want to change it up, and we'll have people ask questions in chat. So and then of course the devs and myself we're not eligible, and I guess we could probably figure out how we could agree who's the winner, who has the best question, or like either the best question or the funniest or something that we could agree on. Like that's the winner right there. So let's see what people have. You guys could ask in voice chat or type it in chat.
Okay, let's see. What are the minimum and maximum limit points for token purchases? We don't have a min and max set. We had it set up for pre-sale for kind of like some anti-bot mechanism, but currently it's all based on price impact. You can buy as much as you want.
Ling is actually one of my members, and he's probably the most active guy on here, but he doesn't speak English, so he did not understand the AMA. So I think that's why he is asking that question.
Gotcha.
Because he uses a translator, and he's always translating, English to Chinese and Chinese to English.
That's dedication.
But yeah, he's super dedicated. He's like he's like the GOAT in our channel.
Hey, Steve, did you see Jacob's message? You want to read that one off too?
Yeah. So essentially, will the games that have NFTs allow us to trade the NFTs to other players? Yes, that is correct. You can buy, sell, and trade. Are you transcribing that? Okay.
No, yeah, my keyboard's so loud. Sorry. I usually mute it when I'm typing. I have a mechanical keyboard.
The reason why I asked that is because it would definitely lower the market for people who have NFTs, and lower the overall value if I can't just outright trade it to someone else for their NFT, or possibly trade it so they can give me a percentage of their some GAL in exchange. Because it would be kind of weird if the only way you can acquire other people's NFTs is if either you have to third party buy it like that, or if you have to go into a death battle. So that's why I asked it.
There's another question. Will there be NFT staking?
I was answering that. When we are working on that integration, it's something that we want to be a part of the environment and the ecosystem for them. It's a way to consistently keep a nice floor, just like staking tokens and becoming like a liquidity pool.
Oh, I had actually a question earlier. Like you were talking about the NFT fighting game,
Yes.
and you could do like the death match, and you could get killed and lose your NFT. So will the NFT itself, would it be almost like a code that saves your progress, and basically you level it up, and it'll be all connected to the NFT? So the NFT is like a contract, or like you know what I mean, that it'll be connected to the game. The NFT itself obviously won't change, but it's almost like a save, like a character, right? They could level up and get different equipment or be customized.
Yes,
and
it will be directly attached so that you gain experience. It keeps a log. excuse me, it keeps a log of your progress, and each match that you either win or lose in order to dictate your experience level, whether it goes up or goes down.
Yo, Jacob, that's a good question. You see that one, Steve?
Cross integrations. That's something that we need to keep note of. Good question, Jacob. That's a really good question. Sammy, can you put that on the note board? That'll be something that we can keep on our records, because that would be kind of cool. So that when Binance, that's really nice. I like that. That got my brain rolling as soon as he asked it. That would be nice, so that if somebody, look at an example like World of Warcraft, which is one of the most referenced games out there when it comes to MMORPGs, is to say, well, I've worked so hard on this. Call of Duty, that was one of the things that made me mad is, you go to Prestige, and then, the next game comes out, you have to start all over. Creating an environment to where the NFTs that you level up and you work hard, you spend your monies on them, it would be really nice to see, another world map that's integrated in, so you can just drop your player right into it and participate. I like that. I think we can do it. It's just a matter of getting the coding together, because it's simple just to say, take this and marry it and pair it with that. Sorry if I was being, weird, but that was my brain just rolling with it. I like that. Good question. Win Lambo after Volvo.
Or Tesla first, then Lambo.
Oh man. Well, actually, the Lucid, bro. Like, I'm a Lucid fan now. Ever since, because I was a part of their IPO, when Lucid launched on the stock exchange, I invested into them, and of course now they're their own entity after they've met their conditions. But the Lucid Air, dude, that's one sexy car. Not only has it demolished every horsepower imaginable for an electric car, but its range, its miles per gallon range, just blew all of Tesla's out of the water.
Is that the one that's a super luxury one? I think it's like around
Yeah.
120,000.
100.
Okay,
Yeah, you got 120K will get you a fast ass electric car that can drive for over 300 miles.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, my girlfriend was telling me about that one. That's the one she says she wanted. That's what I'm doing this, honestly. This to get her that car.
Okay,
That's a
so
good name.
I see a question here by Davey, who's one of our community members here. With such a good team and to relaunch with the core team you have, not forgetting the people that follow and support the Gallant gang, how big does Steven as CEO see the team growing in the next year? And having little achievements are important. So what are the biggest aims for the following year? That's exactly it, Davey. That's not sure if he's listening in. Yeah, he's listening in. So to answer that question, I would like to see our internal core team of at least 10 by the end of the year. And it's going to be very scrutinized in regards to the vetting process. You guys know as well as I do, if you're listening in, trust is something that is taken as a grain of salt here in this space. You can tell, you just like Boria said it himself. He had his dev here working on a contract for their own token, and there was a lack of communication and transparency between one of his team members. And so it is very tough to trust people here. Everybody wants to say I will and I'm a part, but then next thing you know, when push comes to shove, people get frustrated, people get tired, people get burned out, people have other things come up. And so, look at, and I'll bring up SafeMoon again. Their guy had to take a step back. The marketing guy took a step back because other priorities came up. People leave companies all the time. So it's a matter of us reaching out, doing a strong vetting process to bring in other developers that's actually in the core team, not just a contracted developer, but as well as I'm looking for a nice CTO and I'm looking for a solid COO that can continue to drive with us. We just expanded the team from 4 to 6. And so having those other two will push us to 8. And then having Sammy some help on the design side. I'd really like to get a nice 3D artist on board for some assistance with Sammy, because we're all wearing a lot of different hats right now. So if that answers your question, Davey, definitely looking to have a team of 10 by the end of the year so that we can kick off the new year with some games rolled out with some more solid, concrete visuals coming from the MMORPG.
What time is it right now in UTC? Am I wrong? Let me see here.
Hey, how's it going? I don't know. I could tell you what time it is in Texas.
2:30.
In Puerto Rico.
I can tell you what time it is in Texas. Time to eat. People love to
Oh.
eat in Texas, bro. Y'all got some
Yeah,
good food out there. I've done a lot of traveling in Texas.
Yeah, I usually suggest when people ask if they should travel here, I tell them no. Because if you don't end up wanting to go back home and pack your bags and don't come here, because you're gonna want to move here if you ever visit
What part are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Houston area.
Oh, no wonder you say that. Houston's, I think, one of the best parts of Texas, in my own opinion. I like Palo Alto, and where was it? It wasn't San Antonio, because I didn't have as much fun in San Antonio as I did in Houston, but
No, San
Dallas
Antonio.
Fort Worth. That's the other area I like.
That's like Oklahoma. That's like New York, Texas. If Texas was divided up into north and south, Fort Worth. I mean, no, there's a lot to do and a lot going on, and it's a nice area. I just consider them Yankees, I guess.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, yeah, Glenn is the next guy. Next AMA.
Okay.
How's it going?
So it's like, yeah, we have to wrap it up. I didn't think it was gonna take this long. I gave an hour and a half.
No worries, guys.
So
I-
normally we take a while. Like we take over an hour, sometimes even 2 hours. So
We really
I
appreciate
would
it.
say, yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for coming. And who do you pick for the winner? What do you guys think?
I would say Jacob, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think he definitely had a couple good questions.
We definitely got the brain, Steve's brain thinking about his questions. So
Yeah,
I
he
agree.
asked a really nice question that allow us to do some more future development and growth. I mean, that was a win for me for sure. Because that ourselves, I don't think that's popped up in our minds.
nice job,
All right,
Jacob.
cool.
Good question, man.
Yeah, good job,
Okay.
Jacob. And you guys are welcome to stay for the next AMA too.
Yeah, if y'all want some casino tokens that are actual real money to stick around and hang out with us.
Yeah, I've been told this is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, they have a casino already going, and they're going to be handing out some casino tokens to whoever's in here.
Hey, JB, you heard that, bro? Like, look, Glenn, you don't know who you're talking to here, bro. You don't know who you're talking to. We're casino fanatics, okay? I actually look, bro. I've never really been much of a casino online guy, but JB got me into it playing BC games and stuff. And I actually 3 days ago I installed CasinoWorld.com on my computer. Sammy said, "Steven, it's time to go to sleep." Dude, I'm still sitting up here till 3 a.m. I started with 33 million, and I've got like 160 million right now because I just couldn't get away playing slots.
Come
So
hang
I'm
out.
down. Yeah, go ahead. I'll stay here to the AMA as you guys start. If you want to pass me that recording file, I'll get that edited and uploaded to our community.
Yeah, I'm ending it right now.
Okay.
Stop the record.